Okay, here we go. It's going to be part 2 to the little tutorial, just showing off some of the missions we can do. I hopped in a fighter real quick. This is the Asperia Talon. I really like it. Pretty damn good looking ship. Let's grab a mission. I'm not gonna do delivery or racing. Those are really self-explanatory. Pick up a box, go drop it off, race through the track, gotta beat the time. Investigation and searches are pretty self-explanatory as well. You go to the cave or the wreck site and you just look for a dead body. Go ahead and do a service beacon. Let's see. It'll tell you how far away you are from the beacon. This one's close. We're gonna go do this one. And as you do service beacons, you'll get higher and higher levels. Okay, calibrated and waiting on the spool. And jump. Okay, that's cool. The viewport just turned off. That's better. It's a neat feature of the Talon. When the ship's off, that viewport is off, and when you turn the ship on, it comes on. I don't know why it just randomly went off, but let's see, what do we got? A Mustang, that is one of the starter ships. Yeah, I forgot this thing has stock cannons.
Almost there. Almost there.
So again, power triangle and put power to weapons because they'll regen faster, and that's what I need right now. And if my shields were to get low, I'd switch it to shields. Again, if you plan on doing any sort of ship combat, that is like, I don't know what you'd call it, like rule number 1 of flying: know your power triangle, know how to use it. Let's see if there's another close one. Yeah, there is.
Anybody out there?
Where is our marker? There it is. When you're flying around with mouse and keyboard, a good way to get your ship to just stop and stay perfectly still is tap escape real quick. I typically run dual joysticks, BKB Gladiators. They are well worth the money if you play this game a lot, and you play other flying games. I play a little bit of Flight Simulator and DCS as well. What do we got? Another Mustang. So as you get, these are all low threat ones. As you get higher threat ones, the ships that you fight are obviously going to be harder. But as far as joysticks go, the Thrustmaster T16000s, I believe, I had for a little bit. They're good joysticks, but if you play very heavily, they wear out fairly quickly. So just keep that in mind. If you're gonna play this or other flight games a lot, then it's worth it to save the money and get some VKBs. Okay. Service beacons, self-explanatory. Go to the location, blow up the ships, and again, the harder you do, the bigger ships you're gonna have to fight. Like some of the high-level ones are hammerheads and starfarers. The critical ones typically have an Idris, so keep that in mind. What are we gonna do next? We can do a basic one. Microtech, bounty hunting. This one should be close by. Yep, over there. So with bounty hunting, the description of the actual mission will tell you, but they'll either be in a bunker or they'll be in ships. So it could be FPS, it could be ship combat. Typically, if you're just going to be running beacons or you know you're doing only ship combat, you'll just run around in a sperm suit, so that way if you die, you don't lose gear. But if you're just going bounty to bounty, fly geared up. This is a processing facility, so they're going to be flying above it. And bounty hunting, same thing. As you get your rep higher, you get access to better missions that pay more. It's the same for all kinds of missions. Bounty hunting, mercenary, salvage, cargo. All of those, the more missions you do, the higher paying missions you'll get. Hence that Delphi I showed you in the Moby Glass, you can check your rep with whoever you're working with. So it looks like it's going to be in the dark, so it may not be the best visually. One thing that's fun is when you're on these moons, like daytime, some of these white moons, it's so bright you just can't see pips against them. Because they've changed the pips, they're more kind of holographic now versus used to they were more solid. So against a white planet is, ugh, can't see them. Hornet Wildfire. You used to, when you came to these bounties, they were all always like the same two ships. It would like always be like a Gladius and like an M50 or something dumb like that. But they've changed the algorithm, so they are pretty random. Oh, okay. So this is on the ground. If you hold V, you get the scan, which is great for nighttime. You can also keep an eye on your altimeter. Oh, and we just got the pip for the Siege of Orison missions. And I just plopped the shit out of that on the ground, damn. So this one is in a bunker. Keep in mind, when it's hostiles in a bunker, you're going to have to run in. You can run a larger ship doing these bounties and carry a ground vehicle with you and roll in the ground vehicle. Makes it a lot easier. But I just pulled a fighter, so. Let's see. Alright, we're a little ways out, so I'll cut it to, once we're there. Alright, here we are. So, pretty standard way a bunker looks. Building's the same, and then just kind of random stuff scattered around. You can come in on the elevator. Something to keep in mind, too. Silencers work in this game. Your pistols and SMGs will use size 1 silencer, and then, like, assault rifles, LMGs, snipers will use a size 2. Well, let's say we sneak into this bunker, and we come around the corner and we shoot a guy. Like that. Right, with the silencer, nobody else in the bunker would get aggroed. But since I wasn't silenced, there should be more NPCs aggroed to me. See, like he was ready to go. So silencers do work. I can't tell you off the top of my head where exactly to buy them. They're just kind of random at the weapons stores. You can find them. These bunkers are all pretty standard on the layout. If you're doing like a waves bunker, some of the higher level ones, the enemies come in waves. These elevators here, they come out of. You can hear one of them talking up there. Come up the stairs. This game does have a lean for FPS, which is nice. It definitely comes in handy. Checking your mobiGlas in a firefight.
Mic off. Mic on.
Okay, so, you saw me click that last bullet instead of just reloading. So in this game, they don't, like, you don't just have, like, an ammo bag that the mags fill off of, basically, is kind of how I take it. In other games, it's like if I were to reload there, I would have a magazine on my belt that had one bullet in it. So if you killing enemies and you have a mag that's only got a couple of bullets left in it, I'd just fire the rest so that way you drop the empty mag. There's a new consignment mission that you can do. It's in one of these bunkers. You pick up a code off of a dead security guard and put it in here. And it will slowly, one at a time, pull boxes out of here. I think it's like the 5th box is confidential materials, which is what you have to take. But the whole time you're doing it, waves of heavies will spawn out of these bunkers. So it's a great way to farm heavy gear. Just make sure you bring a lot of ammo. Or the heavies typically use the FS9. So you could just bring an FS9 and loot the ammo off their bodies. In bunkers, these red boxes are your loot. See, I'll take this shiny red S71 here. And we'll take some mags for it. The S71's pretty much just a scout rifle from Halo. It's nice, I like it. BR2 shotgun. That's probably the best shotgun in the game. Arrowhead is a laser sniper. And the P6 is the best sniper in the game. Ballistic sniper is pretty much just a 50 cal. Got here, you can find armor. Say like this armor's better. So what we will do is we'll drop it. And we'll start our backpack and our magazines in here. Another way you can do this is just drop it out and you can just grab it and carry it back to your ship or tractor beam it. But since we're just going to run back, it'll take longer if we're carrying something, so. Take our armor. There are different types of armor, and it does matter. A lot of people say it doesn't, but it does. I've noticed. Really, I mean, medium and light armor doesn't really seem to be much of a difference. Heavy armor, you definitely will take more hits before you die. And this is a medium core. The armor you start out with is light, and this is a heavy helmet, you can see. Quite a few loot boxes. I'm just going to be a loot gremlin here. There's a P4 light chest piece. These helmets, a lot of people wear them because they look cool, but they they don't protect you. Like, it's not like a pressurized helmet, so you got a space or somewhere that's got a bad environment, you'll die if you're wearing that. Here we got some Inquisitor arms, so we'll take those. AO3 is another ballistic sniper rifle. It's not bad. B6 is definitely better. There are different kinds of loot boxes as well throughout the game. So these red ones have armor and weapons. As you can see, this one right here is a medical box. So if we open it up, You have the different stimulant pens. We have a med gun. Oh shit. There's still one alive. But where? I heard him shooting. I don't know where he's at. Alright then. Boxes will spawn all over these places. They even spawn like up here by the elevator. I didn't see one, but there's a small square green box that'll spawn, and that will have like knives. It could have tiger claws, which are what you use to take down a satellite, hack your crime stat, that sort of stuff. They usually have tractor beams in them. This is the S71 single shot, and again, it's literally just like a copy and paste of the scout rifle from Halo. Okay, now let's get back to our ship. Alright, I'm bringing us into a mining facility here real quick because the ship took a little bit of damage from those turrets, and I had actually completely forgotten. With the latest update, you can now destroy those turrets. Used to, you couldn't, so you had to land a ways out, but now you can just blow them up and go in, and I completely forgot about that shit, so... but anyway, just to show off a mining site. Well, the light on this thing is not very bright. Some ships, the headlight is non-existent. Some have a little bit of a light, like this one, and then some of them turn on the light. It's like turn on the fucking sun. It's ridiculous. These are all pretty standard. 2 landing pads, 3 buildings, and then 1 ground vehicle claim building. Which we can go take a look at a ground vehicle while we're here. But this is a place you can land. And we come into our vehicle maintenance, repair, and refuel. And then you can see at the top of our screen there, refuel and repair. And we're good. We'll go check out one of these buildings real quick, and then we'll go grab a land vehicle. They're all fairly standard looking. This is one of the drop-off points, so those delivery missions where you go pick up a box. When you come to drop it off, you'll be dropping it one of these things, and these things are every mining site, every city, every space station has one of these. And there's the random NPC that lives here. There's 2 types of loot boxes at these places. You got these gray ones. Pretty standard array of loot, tractor beams, food, water, clothes. So while we're here, we'll snag a tractor beam. And then you have armor boxes as well. See if we get some legs out of this. Nope. There's another gray box. See if this one has a tractor beam attachment. So that part is just the tool, and then there's attachments that go with it. So like here's a tractor beam attachment we'll put on there. You also have a mining attachment for hand mining, and then there's a medical attachment, but I don't know. I guess you used to not have the med gun, so that's why they have the med attachment, but now we just have the med gun. It's much easier. Alright, let's run across. Let's grab a ground vehicle. So at these, the ground vehicle claim is always the same building. Looks like it's way over there. It's a little kind of blue roofed building with the 2 little pads next to it. You see it much easier from the air. This one will also have loot boxes in it. Broken coffee machine. Little M50 model's always cool in these. Oh, what should we grab? Oh, and if a ship is small enough, you can pull it here too. So like the Pisces, the ship we were flying for the new player experience. The Talon, which are currently flying, you can pull here. The Furies are snub fighters, you can pull, and then ground vehicles. Let's just pull out our rover. Rovers, you can get in the front, you can get in the back. They got 2 doors. And while we're chilling, our food and water is getting a little low, as you can see in the bottom left, so we'll stop and take a drink. They've talked about it, and I believe there was a leak the other day of they are working on the poop mechanic. You're gonna have to take a shit in this game. I believe the way it's supposed to work is if you go so long without using a bathroom, your character will get sick. And that'll, like, physically impair you and stuff. Also, same thing for, like, a shower. I mean, our little Ursa doesn't have one, or our little fighter doesn't have one, but bigger ships all have bathrooms. They have a shitter and a shower. And if you go so long without using them, you'll get sick. I wonder if they ever adjusted. They did not. The glare as fuck on these taillights has always been annoying. I'm terrible at driving land vehicles. Thought my joystick set up, but yeah, you land here, you grab your vehicle out, and you'll load it onto whatever ship you're in. Except we're in a fighter, so. The Ursa does have a little turret on it as well. So, pretty cool little vehicle. You got, as you saw, it had the 4 crash seats in the back that actually fold up. Or, it's just sitting up, apparently. So you can close those for more storage room. Another tip, this is on and off an issue. Sometimes it's fixed, sometimes it's not. You see the mags just like fell off of me. Don't pick them back up, because they're still technically on you. So just ignore it when that happens. Alright, let's get back in our ship. And we'll see what mission we're gonna go do next for this. God, that Ursa is fucking loud. Okay, let's see what we got. Priority, they started Siege of Orison. That's a really cool event. The floating platforms at Orison, if you do or don't know about those, you've probably seen them in pictures. They'll have an event where there's an area that's just overrun with the Nine Tails. The bad guys, we just go in the bunker and you gotta go help fight them off. And there was also an option now that I think, I don't know if it's in yet. You can side with the Nine Tails over there and fight players. So, very interesting. Really don't need to do a mercenary. It's pretty much the same thing as what you just saw. That's deploying the beacon. We'll go do a salvage mission, so let me jump over to a Vulture, and I'll show you that. Okay, here we are. We are in the Vulture. We have picked up a salvaging mission. We are headed there now. Salvaging is a very chill way to make money. Very, what's the word I'm looking for? Can't really think of the word. It's easy. No one really fucks with you. You don't make tons of money, but you make a decent amount. You fill up a Vulture, and you'll make, what is it, like 160k a run or something, and that could take you half an hour or so. That's pretty good money. Clean, easy. Now we picked up a mission, and it's over here. Now, the missions don't typically give off that much salvage, so what you really want to do, you tap V and go into scanning mode, and then when you hold down, it scans. Now you can see, you know, boxes appear. And see how we see this RS signature on our top left and our top right. So if you scan around and you look at these, and would you look at that right there? There's an even number, 2,000, 4,000, 6,000, 8,000, 10,000. This is a 10,000. So this will be like a massive haul. It's natural spawn salvage. You'll see it when we get to it. Lost sight of it, but we'll get there. This will give you way, way more salvage. It's just a rock. That looked weird. Let's see if we get the box for it to pop up. I'm not sure. Is that it right there? Nope, that's a different one. We're looking this direction and we're getting it, so we'll keep flying this way. Is this it right here? I think this is it. Yep, this is it. So normally, I don't know if they changed it or if it's just not doing it, you'll get like a little weird kind of like splatter looking symbol that indicates salvage. And then for rocks, you'll get a rock symbol. But this is where the money is at with salvaging. So pick up a mission, and once you get there and you start flying towards it, start scanning around and looking. Then of course you can still go do the mission afterwards as well. But this is what you're really looking for. This is where the money in salvaging comes from, is these natural spawn chunks that are just out floating. So you hit M, it brings up your mining mode. And then if you right click, you can change between your different modules. The abrades, I think, better. Looks like they've changed it. My little notes thingies aren't coming out. Oh, I wonder if they changed the keybinds. Give me just a second to dig through them real quick. Alright, so apparently salvaging is just worked at the Pt.2 right now. Although I hadn't tried it yet, and there is a new HUD. This is pretty nice. It's a lot cleaner than the old one. Salvaging's pretty simple though. Once you enter salvage mode like we are now, the little arms on the end are actually supposed to extend out. You can see the little heads right there. And then you just click to turn it on and you scrape the material off. It's kind of like pressure washing the sheets of metal. It's kind of satisfying. And that's really it. The big thing's just once you pick up a mission, you come and you look for these, again, even numbers with the scanning, 2,000 and up, and you get this material, which gives you much, much more profit than the actual mission. But I think for this part 2 of the tutorial, we're going to go ahead and call it there. I went over quite a few things. If you found anything in this video helpful, leave a like, and of course subscribe to get future content from my channel. And we'll see you out in the verse.